Hello everyone, welcome back. Brainbutt here. Today I am looking at a cheap knockoff of Bruticus, and this one is very clearly not meant to be the original in any way. Take a quick look at the packaging here. This is from China. Big engineer. Most of the stuff on here says, combine 5 to 1 soldier, that kind of thing. They also have this ad hoc fighter on the bottom. And the coloration scheme here is based on the Ruination release in North America. In Japan, it went by the name Baldigus. And straight away before taking anything out, you can see this is much smaller than the official G1. I'll bring the G1 in, G1 toys in later to have a good look. But take a look at the back. They do have the instructions printed on them, which is quite nice. You also get the names of these guys. So we got Vortex's armament. Blast Off is, I believe this is supposed to be secondary, but that's currently unpronounceable. Brawl is Panzerpaka. Confusingly, Swindle is Copter. I feel like these should be maybe switched. And Onslaught is Tugging Gun. But they tell you to go through all the transformations. They give you the combined mode right there, which is nice. And yeah, everything about this package right now screams dollar store, and I assume that's how it's going to feel like once I get it out. But instead of talking about it, let's get it out of the package. So here we have Big Engineer out of the package. So we can take a little bit of a closer look at him. I've got him all armed up according to how the back of the box said. He's got this extra gun here, which is very, very floppy. And his other gun. It comes packed, this gun here, Onslaught's rifle, comes pre-plugged in this one. However, this weapon here will not peg into the left fist. It's like the hole in the left fist is just slightly too small for this peg, but you can get either weapon into the left hand. You see a color scheme. It is like Ruination, so different from the original G1. Everything's really kind of floppy on here, but I'm just going to turn him around so you just kind of see how the whole combiner looks. Normally with this type of thing I would start from the individual bots and go up, but it comes packaged as a combiner. Spill off, I'll put this to the side. But as far as what you can move on the combiner here, you got his head, which if I can get a little bit closer, you can see it's a poor, I want to say like a poorly rendered version of Bruticus' head should be. Can you turn it? Nope, you can't. The arms, you can. There's no ratchets on these, so they just spin around, they won't hold. The transformation on the back, I think it's just lifted straight from the official Hasbro Takara instructions, because Onslaught's arms here, they tell you to move it, the fist up so it's at this position, so the arm is horizontal. But there's no way to actually rotate that there on this figure, so that has to stay down. This version does include a hole here you can plug in the ramp, which the original Ruination release had. And that's about it. You can adjust the positions of the legs just like on the original G1 toy, except everything's really super loose. And on this version, I found you do have to have Brawl rotated around. If you put him the other way, he just keeps flopping over. Now that's about it. He's got that not quite a Decepticon symbol there, which you see that kind of symbol all the time on these Chinese knockoff toys. But I'll get him disassembled and we'll start looking at the individual bots. So I'll start with Swindle, and won't take too much time in transformations. It'll be mostly the same, but just want to see what corners they cut. So I'll put them into Jeep mode first, and we'll take a look. So I don't think there is in and out movement here on the legs, so we can move that out. It's got one large foot instead of two, so that spins quite freely around. And then the front section, hinge up, flip that. Oh, that's in. Oh, that's strange. Yep, that's how it's supposed to be, but it looks like that's on backwards. There's no way to turn this around at all, so I guess I'll leave it like that. Yeah, he's definitely not driving on any roads. Let's take a look at him. So he's basically just this camo green Jeep. US star on the front. That's about it. I have no idea how he plans on driving on that. See, normally you would flip this around, but it's all upside down, so I don't know if they installed that wrong or what, but that's what it is. Bottom, top. The wheels they're screwed in, so they don't roll at all. It does have a hole up here to take the gun, so you can have that. Yeah. Not much to say about that. The plastic quality feels really cheap. Obviously, the build quality is not good, but this was an extremely cheap set. And just to bring in G1 Swindle, so you can see exactly how small this new one is. And take a look at the robot mode. So bring this out, bring that down, bring this back, and do the arms come out at all? They look like they move, maybe. Let's see. Yeah, kinda. Get the old screwdriver in here. I'll pop it out. Come on, you come out more. Does it turn? Maybe. Yeah, it doesn't really have the clearance to turn, so I won't bother filling with that. But you can see there's no detail on the face at all, really. Yeah, it definitely looks like he's put it backwards because his toes are supposed to be facing out this way. Might be able to fix that by probably undoing the screw maybe and taking it apart, but that's too much work. Can you hold his gun? Got a little post hole there for his gun. Yep, again, but I can't really get this arm out enough to raise it, so he'll have to sit on the job. Anyway, robot mode. We'll pull the legs out since they're already in. Well, they're in the wrong position, but these toes should be over here because they're backwards. Pull this down. And there is not swindle. In robot mode, you see he's got absolutely no definition on the face. The arms do pull out, sort of, but they don't come out enough to rotate the arms at all. So this is what you get here. He can hold his rifle. But again, since I can't get him to lift his arms, he's kind of can't stand up with it. So, but I'll show you real quick. Here he is next to the real swindle. Well, this is a knockoff of a reissue, but this is actually a quality product. You can see how much bigger he is. I did try to take this screw out to maybe flip this mechanism around, but I can't actually get this to come off. It's stuck somewhere, and this plastic is really cheap, so it'll break easily. Moving on. Okay, so here we have the dollar store brawl. So I'll get him into his tank mode to take a look. Okay, that's about it. So the paintwork is simplistic, but it's actually, the color scheme looks nice, I think. And he has one blaster here, plug it in there, kind of like the original toy. And bring in G1 Brawl here, so you can see the size difference between these two molds. And robot mode. So this the turret doesn't move in and out at all. So I'll flip. I can rotate this around, flip this section up. Legs, do they do anything? Yes, they do flip out. And oh, it popped off. That's just a peg. So the arms do move, but they get caught real easy on the turret. I guess we'll just kind of leave it like that. So we can focus in on Brawl here. And he's got pretty much no face at all, just like Swindle. Little pegs for hands. Those little hands can hold. Oh, maybe not that one. So one of his hands can hold his weapon. And Brawl again. Got a big brother, little brother thing going on there. Next. So we'll do Vortex next. One thing I want to point out, when I was trying to take this guy out of Bruticus, the peg here snapped off. You can see it was. It just kind of sheared off. And the reason was that, so you got square pegs here going into a round hole, and the head here, the tolerance is completely off because it was so tight that what I had to do after it broke off to get that piece out, I had to undo these two screws, and then this piece just came off. And even with a screwdriver, it was a heck of a time trying to push that out. So yeah, maybe I'll put like a little brass rod in there to put it back in, but we'll see. Again, like all the other versions, the plastic quality is extremely, extremely cheap. But we'll get him into his helicopter mode. He's basically all the way there already. Let's see if I can get this into the proper orientation. Maybe it kind of can turn. Probably snap something off. Who knows? I think these blades do fold out like that. So there's the helicopter mode, blue, some U.S. Army tampos there, no coloration on the cockpit. And you can sort of rotate everything. Doesn't rotate really freely, but it's there. And the tail rotor's molded in. Bringing the real version of Vortex here, so you can again see the size difference here. Robot transformation. Let's see if I can get this turned back around. Got kind of got a little bit of sliding action here to flip the legs out. Fold these up. Do these little peg together there? They do pop out like the original. And this is all one piece, so these don't fold anywhere. That ball joint popped off. Okay. Oh, sensing a theme here. No face. Not a whole lot of detail. And this guy didn't come with a weapon, and I couldn't find anywhere to plug this thing on anywhere, so maybe like in there, but it doesn't fit. And he doesn't really stand. Probably gonna get these fan blades out to kind of prop him up. Yeah, that works. And we're bringing the G1 version, so you can see where they cut corners for the cost. Next. Okay, so for blast off, fold that piece down, bring the wings and out, and there you have it. So this looks more like an official NASA shuttle. I mean, as far as coloration goes, there's nothing like crazy going on here. Very poor paint application here at the the cockpit. Yep. Bring in blast off here. It's a huge difference in size there. For robot mode, so we'll bring all these wings folded back up. Legs do pull out. Do the arms pull out? They do. Split them apart. There's a peg up here. I feel like I'm going to snap. Okay. Bring this down. These joints are really stiff. The ball joints are not. The joints at the shoulder here, they don't want to move down anymore. Well, I guess this is what we're going to have to deal with on this side. What about this arm? Wonder if I can loosen these up a little bit. Hang on. Okay, so I had success on this arm, but when I tried to move this arm, you can tell I snapped the ball joint straight off, so that's never going back together. And the one that snapped off is the only one that could hold a weapon, although it doesn't really go in there anyway, so I guess no big loss. This one has the most detailed face, and that has a paint application there. There he is next to the real deal. He's a knockoff, but he's just as good in quality wise as the original. On to Onslaught. And for not Onslaught, we'll get him into truck mode. So the leg mechanisms are basically the same, except there's no ratchets. So get everything together. There's one peg here at the back to hold everything together, which I'm sure will never snap off. And 2 tabs down in here, which shocks, the tolerances don't feel great on that. Collapse that all in. Get this up. That. Okay. And there's Dollar Store Onslaught. And you can see the color scheme he's got going on there. Some stickers. Got his cannon. As far as this thing goes, can't really go anywhere. I can plug in, kind of like fit in here, sort of. This, I got one out without breaking it. What about the other one? Won't fit in either one of these. Nope. Nope. This only kind of fits in one of Bruticus's fists, and that's it. So I'll put this back. And I'll bring in a toy that does not fill me with sadness. Oh, except I still have the missing wheel on this. But I covered that in the my unboxing video. Still haven't got a replacement wheel for that yet. You can see there's got a little boy and a big boy here. Lift this up. Oh, you can kind of see the size difference. There. But we'll look at robot mode. Okay, so legs out, split apart, get these pieces up, and kind of sort of pegged in. They don't really fit. I'm sure if I squeeze them anymore, they'll snap off. Straighten up the legs, bring the arms down. See, will the fist slide out? The fist on his side slides out, this side. Yes, they do actually slide out. Surprise, surprise. And he's not gonna really stand up if I flip these pieces down. Kinda, sorta. Well, there is Dollar Store Onslaught. So it actually does have a molded face, but no colorations, some stickers, and sloppy paint job here. And more limited movement because there's no rotation here, so that's about all you got. This weapon. Can bring it in here, but again, he can't really fire at anyone unless he's like shooting sideways. That's about the only pose he can hold. Can he hold this other weapon? Maybe. Nope. Maybe in his chest. There's no chest plate here like on the original. So, oh yeah, you can. Or is it too big? Almost. Oh well. Let's see if we can get him to stand up for a little comparison here. There we have Big Engineer's version of Onslaught next to the G1 release. Okay, so final thoughts. Design-wise, the coloration looks good. I do like the idea of scaling down the combiners. I think that's neat. Transformation, very simple, like the G1 toy. Playability-wise, not a lot. You can't hold any sort of pose. He just sort of falls apart. And durability-wise, if I did ratings, be 1 out of 10, maybe 0. The plastic quality on this is so cheap that, you know, just twisting ever so slightly in the wrong direction will result in it breaking. As for, do I feel like I got my money's worth? Well, I got this off AliExpress. With the cost of the figure and shipping and import fees and all that was about $28 Canadian. So for reference, a deluxe figure before tax is about $35. But, you know, despite paying a low price, I still feel like I overpaid on this just because it was so cheap. But I knew I was going to get a dollar store quality figure, and I did. I think the only, you know, positive to this is you could, you know, if you wanted this color scheme, as far as I know, there's no reissues available for Ruination, so maybe you just wanted to leave it in combined mode on like your desk somewhere. It does kind of look nice as long as you don't get too close to it. But that's about it. Cheap knockoff of Ruination / Baldigus. Big engineer. I've seen a whole bunch of these style figures pop up on AliExpress, so I thought I'd give this one a shot. This one is kind of a fail for me. I do have one other one that I'll check to see if it's similar quality. But other than that, I'll say thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.